When we first got Matt on board, he's one of our very first employees at Field Nation. Very quickly I found out that Matt can do pretty much anything for a startup company.
McLane had the most impact around the office because he's been here through the thick and thin, from us being a smaller company to a bigger company. And I'll tell you, like, a few of us that did get to work together in the flower exchange have this unspoken bond with each other.
Early days, things are very hard as you get started for any company, but he would keep the environment fun and inspiring and motivating for all of us.
Matt's single biggest accomplishment at Field Nation was his maintenance of our culture.
So Matt was somebody that took on lots of roles, especially in the early days. He would do just about anything. So he's kind of like the go-to guy whenever a problem didn't fit with anyone else.
Well, when I joined Field Nation, there was no HR, no admin, no recruitment. It was all Matt. He filled in so many roles, and his biggest accomplishment is like pulling together everything that was happening at this moment of time.
Matt brought a lot to Field Nation, and particularly one of the biggest things that I think he brought was showing people what the behavior is like in an early stage startup, which is to really do way too many things productively during the same day. So he was very known for wearing so many hats and flying on many different altitudes, and yet doing it successfully.
It was my first day at Field Nation in October. I believe it was 19. I've known Matt a long time. 2015, I had a new team of people I didn't know, and Matt came around and banged his hand on the desk and said, "What is this? What is this?" And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Shit mountain." I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Your job, you are now the king of shit mountain."
I think every single one of them, because right from the start, I got the first call from him. "Oh, you're interested in joining Field Nation?" When he said, I was, "Oh, we like you to be here," and in his own way. And most favorite moments were like at every part of integration, the attorney would send, "Okay, we got it through," and he would send some humorous gif back. That would make me do a face palm. Oh my God, why, Matt?
One of my favorite memories of working with you, Matt, was how you brought humor to the workplace. And so you twice pranked me by wrapping up a Field Nation mug from our break room and giving it to me for either, I think it was either for my birthday or for the holidays, and I fell for it both times.
So one of my favorite memories, probably the best memory I have, actually didn't come working with him, was when I interviewed at Field Nation with Matt. And you know, it wasn't an easy thing for me to go through interviewing here. And I remember getting to the end of my interview and just feeling like I just failed miserably, and asking him if there was any particular reason why I wouldn't be a good fit for Field Nation. And 30 minutes later, I walked out there with all the feedback on everything I could have done better, said better.
Matt loved to pick on millennials all the time. I mean, I could hear him shouting from his office, talking to a vendor, complaining about millennials, and then shouting to the development staff, "Yes, I am talking about you."
Matt was not a quiet man. So at the Flower Exchange building, our old place, Matt was actually kind of shoved into a utility closet, because it was the only office that actually had a door. So some of the conversations that you would hear come out of that office, because he was dealing with the vendors, and he would McLane them into submission.
So many memories, but I'll go with one that is particularly personal to me, which is that he is the reason why I came to visit Field Nation in the first place. Field Nation was hiring for product management roles. And then, he talked to me on the phone. He got my number from one of my previous bosses. And then, he was so much fun to talk to on the phone that I decided that I'd come and visit this company where someone that is so much fun to talk to is there. And so he was the reason why I visited Field Nation in the first place.
Well, Matt is a very fun guy. I just miss having him around here. One thing I tell people, if you don't understand Matt's humor, you'll get offended. But if you do, you'll always like to be around him.
Probably his booming loud voice, he knew where he was in the building, but it's just his enthusiasm for people.
Literally everything.
First, you told me to bring a hazmat suit to my interview. You always would inject humor into the town hall meetings. We never knew what you were going to say, and it always made people feel good and laugh. You were unpredictable in your brainstorming sessions. You were one of my favorite brainstorming partners. It would be like fireworks going off in your brain with different ideas, and I really liked that. But I also appreciated your predictability, and I'm just going to say a few words. Base camp, Dave's lunch, lunch shirt, gifts, Google surveys, complex PowerPoint transitions, and my most favorite one is your predictability and your commitment to making this a joyful workplace. And I really appreciate that, and I'm going to miss that very much.
Just the laughs. In the flower exchange, it was always funny. He helped make sales calls, and it was just fascinating listening to the sales and how he would ask for people that worked in certain departments, and you never knew what the other side was saying. It was always just fascinating the things that he would say to them and how long I guess they would stay on the call before hanging up.
With Matt, I think I'm going to miss his energy and his personality, his ability to make light of almost any situation, but in a professional way. He pushed the limits, but he didn't push them too far.
What I'll miss the most about him is just hearing his voice, and you knew it was going to be a good day when you heard his energy and his voice projected throughout the office.
I think it's just mostly around Matt being Matt. I think that's where all of them miss the most.
I would say our daily banter. I'm not sure who I'm going to be able to pick at and prod at and argue with daily. So here's to you, Matt. Miss you.
Matt, I miss you, man. I thoroughly enjoyed working with you. I think you're a top-notch individual. Anyone would be glad to have you at any company. You'll be an attribute.
Miss him being so much around, very present. He was so present, and he will continue to be. But I want to say also that I'm not going to miss him because I will still, haunt him and talk to him all the time and meet with him and have lunch with him and go out with him. He is a friend for a long time to come.